Dan. What's going on, guys? Let's watch NFL Week 10 with Fat Guy and Big Rye.
What an
I don't know.
entry.
I don't know. Ravens, Dolphins play tonight. These games, like these Thursday night games, like ironically, last year this would have been like I would have been excited for this one. This year I could care less. And
What are you
then
doing? It's a five-star entertainment game between Jacoby Brissett and Lamar Jackson. The Ravens defense versus the vaunted Dolphins defense.
yes, if they can create 5 turnovers again, then they
Four.
might have a chance.
They just can't give up 5 like they did on Sunday.
Yeah, and they still lost. Shout out to anybody who got the Texans at +7.
Thanks. That worked out great.
Yeah.
I beat this closing line by at least 3 points on every game, and I lost all of them. How do you do that?
I was actually pretty upset when I forget the exact situation, but the Texans were down like 12 or something like that,
Yeah,
and they decided to kick a field goal with like 8 minutes left in the game. Like I just don't. It's we've talked about this. Like it's either total incompetence or they're trying to lose. It's one of the two.
It's
like
total incompetence. That's what, like, you almost can't believe it is what you're saying.
Well, when you bet a side of a game, you're taking like invested interest in good football, good like you're just taking.
No, you're hoping.
Yeah.
See, that's where it's different.
Yeah.
Is when you
That's
bet
a
on the
good point.
Texans, you're signing up for bad football. How bad? That's to be determined, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you bet on the Ravens and you see that, that's when you get upset because it's unlike the Ravens.
Yeah.
When you bet on the Texans, you expect that. Yeah, Dolphins should win every single game, MVP every game. By the way, I like your music. I purchased it on iTunes.
Thanks for joining us, MVP. I don't know what they're talking about with Beckham joining the Rams, but like,
Who cares?
is he even good enough to get on the field on that team?
He's a fourth receiver.
It just seems
Woods, Van Jefferson, and then him.
Yeah, it just seems like
He
obviously
should have
the
a
media
similar
wants-
role to Deshaun Jackson, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like, how can you really, like, how do I put this? How can you really, like, challenge Woods or Cup? That's not going to happen.
I don't think so. Like I don't know. The guy's
He's
just
not
played
really
so,
a deep threat, though. Like,
Yeah.
he is the second worst catching catch per target percentage in the NFL, only behind Robbie Anderson, who's made an effort to drop passes.
He just hasn't been very good for a long time. Like what
Well,
was
like
it? Like even his last year with the Giants, I feel like he didn't play that well.
Well, you got to remember too. There's like his style of play. Like he made one really big catch, and like he had a lot of like slants that went to the house because he was great after the catch for the Giants. Like there's a lot of high variance plays that put receivers on the map, right? Like it's a lot of like there's a lot of luck involved. He's not really that good of a receiver, and I can't see what here. Let me see what you're doing. Okay.
Well, he said 5,000-yard seasons, which is that's good.
They're good. They're good.
That's
yeah.
good. He had in 2017 he got injured. 2018 he actually put up pretty good numbers considering he only played 12 games. And then with Cleveland,
that is good numbers.
He just eclipsed eclipsed 1,000 yards in his 16 games.
Yeah, like that's
But
fine.
also look at here, like 133 targets, 74 catches. Like he had ample opportunity, and then the last year and a half, it's just been, he's put
Chris
up
Conley?
600 yards in 13 games.
Josh Allen. Well, this is the thing. Like that, like 1,000 yards is fine and like what have you, but like they gave up. The Browns paid 2 first rounds for him. What are you talking? Like, what are we talking about? It's such a waste. Like, this is a devastating waste of money and resources. So, like, I particularly don't like him. He's my least favorite player in the league. I think he's a overinflated, opinionated loser. Like, I don't like him. I hate his personality that he portrays. Who knows what he's like in real life? That's the other thing I always say is like, do I hang out with him? No, like I've never hung out with Odell Beckham. Who knows? He'd be the nicest guy in the world. But the way he carries himself and the things he said in the media, I think are deplorable, and I think he's a loser. Assuming that he's not just playing a character and that's how he actually is.
Yeah. Career AV is 58, which is pretty good. But his 3 years in Cleveland, his his AV in Cleveland was 13, which is like below average for receiving. Thank you very much, Josh Allen, and trying to dox yourself, a la fat guy.
Well, those are both made up names, so I think he's okay.
Yeah.
One's an average receiver, one's a good pass rusher.
Yeah. There is market indicators to take the under, so I think I might be doing that. But I got to see what the actual line and price is.
Oh, I know what's wrong. Oh, I got my VPN on. That doesn't allow you for that. Aha. VPN issues, first world problems, I guess. Whatever, is that what they say?
I'm just looking
here. We go.
Here. 46, not the keyest of numbers, as I can see. Oh, it's decently key.
Interesting that Michael Vick got a.
What happened to Michael Vick?
He's talking about Michael Vick, or Madden 04, rather.
While they're doing Madden highlight type stuff.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson's talking about how good he is. The game is horrible now. I can't believe they're plugging in. Well, I guess EA has to, right?
Yeah, like
it's like so bad now. It's unbelievable.
I don't get why they're plugging it now. Like this should be plugged when the game came out, unless it just came out and I'm just not aware. But
we wouldn't be aware. It's complete garbage.
Yeah.
And now, then they clipped it out that Lamar Jackson said it gives me that kid vibe. I feel like the kid at heart. So that's what they're going for with these.
Well, they just found out that they can make way more money doing Ultimate Team type stuff, where like
scamming
people
kids.
Yeah, that's
while scamming kids' parents. It's such a joke. Like it's just there's so much garbage. It's like freemium games. You know what I mean?
yeah. So is Madden going to be on Christmas Day? Oh, it's just a documentary.
All Madden the documentary. Okay, the game sucks. It's a really bad game. It's so annoying. I ordered PS2, NFL 2K5. It's like a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
There's like 6, 7 times more the um, options to mess with on NFL 2K5. It's like the last good game they made. So I didn't mind Madden 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6 though. Even 11 was okay.
But even like listening to you say that, like it kind of gives away your age, right? Because I think that if you're 17, this new game, you probably don't mind it.
Yeah, I know, but like how it's a hook though. You didn't the whole point was to build like a franchise and like try and build your own ultimate team. Now you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a total joke. My favorite was remember you played as like 64 overall Cleveland Browns and you beat a 99 team?
Sounds about right.
And it was he was dating a friend of ours sister.
I don't even remember the reference, but
You don't?
I believe you.
You got him very, very, very upset.
I'm actually curious. Like, you got to message me now.
Okay.
Privately, I guess, because I've beaten so many people in so many different games. It just kind of all meshes into one.
Look at that was the most big time.
Such a. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you like beat him like 21-7 with you had the worst team ever. And you purposely picked them too.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I guess I was just super lucky that day.
Yeah, sure. He was losing his mind. You played base defense and
Oh well.
oh
Can't
well.
win them all.
Yeah. Hello, Zitvono.
What's going on, Zit? I'm hoping the NFL.com scores updates today because I switched to Yahoo and Yahoo was ahead of live betting and us. So explain that to me.
In what?
Like like the Yahoo like score update, like
The
play to
feed?
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. There might be like there's always a delay, but
Yeah, like usually the odds aren't up. So they probably Yahoo and at least Pinnacle Live odds is probably on the same like thing, but I'm sure they have to do some sort of calculation before you put up the actual odds.
yeah, it's pretty quick though. The thing is, the Pinnacle's cool about that, but a lot of other books they do that. They do a lot of like they take 8 seconds to like confirm. Yeah, I looked you up once, Zivona. I wasn't sure if that was you. You're
He's got what, your top 100, or you had the world record for a specific Doom thing, or you had like a top 100
speed
speed
runner.
run?
Yeah.
Well, I think what made the Dolphins so good last year was just their turnover differential, if I remember correctly.
Well, the results were good. I don't know if they're like it's bizarre. It's football though. Like there's a variance to stuff. Like think about like what you're highlighting is very high variance stuff. So it's 2020. Go to 2020.
Yeah, this year they're fifth last. Last year they were +9. Like that's such a huge difference, right? Like what is it? +9 to
Yeah, and that follows
-5.
that follows what Zivono said. Turnover differential tends to revert to the mean. I mean, generally speaking, yes. I mean, there are some exceptional defenses that, but I mean,
It's
you're
both
not going
sides
to
of the ball
balance to
too.
zero. Yeah,
Like New
that's
England,
true.
New England was the exception, and like
For years.
even they still had some sort of regression, I'm sure.
Yeah, part of its offense, right? Because like that's a huge. Brady wasn't a big ball turner over. It's not really a word, but like Aaron Rodgers, I'd imagine the Packers every year they've had Aaron Rodgers except the first year that he started. You know, they're going to have positive turnover differential. He's extremely good at not turning the ball over.
There was let me see if I can pull this up, because Jake Jacobs shared with us the
Yeah, he
that
emailed it to
data.
us. So
Yeah, I've got to have it somewhere in my downloads. I liked a few of the things. So this is a CAI Football Training Guide 2019 edition, Championship Analytics, and it was Jake Jacobs was working for a college team, and he received this. Where is?
why don't you look at the index?
This is exactly what I want to show.
Oh.
Here's 4 key points in college football in 2019, and like this is just the way things are trending in football. And it says, as offenses continue to dominate in football, the following is true. 1, teams are more likely to convert if they go for it. 2, teams are more likely to score if they convert for a first down. 3, your opponent has a good chance of scoring even if you punt. And 4, teams need to score a lot of touchdowns.
They're very simplistic, but it's true, right? Like it's just backing up the trend line there. So, oh hey, Wook Dog, how you doing?
Wook
Fantastic
Dog in chat.
season, buddy.
Mud's in chat as well. That's all the greats are coming out tonight. Jackson said he'll be joining soon. There he is, Jackson. Hello, football fans. What's going on, Jackson?
It's weird seeing Alejandro Villanueva in a Ravens jersey, but
it is weird. But I'm gonna like this is mostly for college, but this is just general rules of thumb, and it pretty much says, in general, if you're like weighing between like punting or going for it, or like going for it or kicking a field goal, like you should always be leaning towards going for it. Like, of course, there's, you know, if you're on your own 20 and it's 4th and 13, it's better to punt. Like, there's
generally, depending on the score of the game.
That's another good point too. Is I'm talking about not specific scenarios, because if you're down 14 and there's 4 minutes left, like you have to go for it. There's just no, you're giving up at that point and you're trying to lose the game. But I like this. I like this because it's very, very simple. You know, teams are more likely to convert if they go for it. Teams are more likely to score if they convert for first down. Your opponent has a good chance of scoring even if you punt, and teams need to score a lot of touchdowns to win.
I disagree with 538. I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth much, but it's worth something. And how do I put this? Is I think a lot of how teams play on the goal line contribute to that. Like, teams aren't very risky when they're in their own goal line. They run the same play, essentially. They run 2 runs to give themselves an opportunity to punt. Like, teams don't generally, they only use 1 of the 3 downs to try and get a first down. At least from in my anecdotal experience.
But what that means is maybe like get like pinning them on the, like, obviously as a special teams coach or group, like you're trying to get them as close to the end line as you can, like close to your own goal line as you can. But in general, like a 70-yard drive to a 90-yard drive, there's not that much of a gap as
No,
there once was.
but
You
the
know,
play calling that they employ on their half or 1 yard line is way, way, way different than the play calling they employ at the 20.
oh,
Because
definitely, because you've got less field. You have 10 yards of backfield to work with.
yeah, and
Like,
the fear of a safety is just really high, right?
yeah, because any holds. I'm surprised we don't see more like safeties because of holds, but I guess we do see it once in a while.
Jackson feels like it's changing. Yeah, I think that's fair to say, but it's still like it's just one of many, many things that are light years behind. Watching the Cleveland Browns is a breath of fresh air. I can't believe that's a sentence right now. They don't like it, just feels like them and the Colts are my two favorites, I would say now. I've always liked the Browns, but for weird contrarian reasons. I've always been the kid that likes things that no one else like. But now the Browns are actually good. Like I think their coaching's fantastic, and watching their decision making, like ending the first half drive against the Jets, the Colts employed was a thing of magic and beauty. And the Ravens are in that conversation as well, right? With some of their decision making, but a lot of these teams are just so garbage in terms of choices from coaching. And I think that's the only like serious modeling edge you could make without an intense amount of work. Like is coach's decision making, because that's I don't know how baked into the line a lot of that is. Yeah, I just have a lot of Raiders gears at Phono, so I like them too. I wear it. It's the Raiders have a cool logo, so when people that don't know you super well want to buy you stuff, they tend to just he likes I see him wearing a Raiders thing, so I end up with a lot of Raiders gear, and I like it, and I'm thankful for it though.
What's going on, Mickey? And I agree with what Jackson said. I lean more towards that, but I do see teams that are, let's just say that are more on like the bad side of offense. I find they can be very, very vanilla,
They
like
give
inside
up.
of their own. Yeah, like they really do give up, but I do feel like a majority of teams can be more aggressive in their end zone.
If
But
they don't if they don't get more than 2 yards on the first carry, because they always run on first down, almost always. Those teams, if they don't get more than 2 yards, they run it again, and then they only try and go for it really on third. I mean, obviously they could run for a first down on first or second, but they're just less likely to. It's not like the other defense doesn't know what I'm talking about. Like they're like, it's pretty obvious, There's a lot of stuff too.
There's a lot of plays that like you have to throw out, and this reminds me that there was a safety this year where they did throw like a bubble screen to a wide receiver.
That was New York Giants, right?
I can't remember who it was. I think someone in chat would probably remember. But like, you got to have a little bit of gusto to throw like, one of those tight end screens or halfback type screen in your end zone. So it just it cuts down your opportunities just because of like you're not going to run a reverse. Not that like there's a lot of reverses run in the league to begin with, but
I don't understand. I don't like bubble screens really, like in general. I mean, there has been some nice tight end ones. I agree. Zipono, I think it's a massive mistake. Yeah, throwing should be viable 100%, right? You should keep the defense at bay with 100% of your play calling, right? Like, but going back to that, running a bubble screen is insanity because plays take long to develop. You should just run simple things, slants, things like that. If it doesn't work, so be it, right? Like you have to think of quick developing plays, right? Because that's the only thing you have to change in terms of that. And if you're not capable, which somehow a lot of offenses aren't capable of running a quick developing play, then you have to run.
I saw a groundbreaking quote today, and I want to get your thoughts on it. See if I can find it.
What do we got here? Oh my goodness. Look at that stupid top one.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they're willing to trade for a good quarterback if he's cleared of, oh my goodness. The whole point is uncertainty. it's just idiocy, all this reporting.
All right, so we get a Sean
Ooh,
McDermott
Devin
quote here.
Duvernay, nice play. Whoa! Big hit, number 8, Dolphins. Wow.
In fact, if you wouldn't mind, could you read this? I
I
don't know
thought
if
we'd
you.
be further along, McDermott said on the team's non-existent rushing attack. I thought that we would have progressed in that area. It is something that we need to do and do better if we want to be the team that we're trying to become. Complementary football. You stay on one side of the ball. Stopping the run helps to stop the pass. It just all fits together and has to work together. You've got to play a certain way in this league, and that's how we have to play. I can promise that adjustments are being made. Now, like, what's interesting about that is it's been 2+ years of this where they have been, and it's odd too. They were the best running team, 6 years ago with LaShawn McCoy. Like obviously a lot of things have changed, and probably none of the offensive linemen are there. But like with the addition of Josh Allen, they've thrown out the run, and that idiocy is kind of got to bite them against Jacksonville. I was trying to explain this to someone yesterday because when you look at spreads and money lines, there's kind of like a linear path where they kind of just move congruently along the same numbers. So like going back where I got a really, really good, I guess, reactionary look at what a play by Freeman was when in the Colts Bills playoff game where like the Bills were trying to cover a spread. They weren't trying to win the game. That's how they ran an offense. And so like even though each spread and money line run like linearly, like I'm trying to show it like as if they're on the same graph. Not all teams employ strategies that are complementary of such a linear move. Like the Colts is a team that tries to win games. The Bills try and cover big spreads. The Bills are way more likely to get upset than the Colts are, in my opinion. Right. And the Colts are way more likely to win as a dog. I mean, that's a little bit rougher to say considering when are the Bills really going to be a dog, and they have an awesome quarterback. So like, you know what I mean? So like, I just realized like I'm way more likely to take a team like the Bills and laying big points because they try and win. Like they don't take into consideration time clock management. Whereas, like kind of like if you look at the Jets game, the Jets were never in danger of winning, but they still kind of came back against the Colts. I know I went on a big rant there, but
Oh, it's perfect. It gave me a chance to
yeah.
rest.
Man, this guy's fast. And that's a great, instead of getting the extra yard and Jackson getting a big pop, steps out of bounds wisely after a 1-yard carry. I think that fourth down decision, like there has to be how do I put this? There has to be a way to like quantitatively measure whether it's better to take the money line or the spread with some of these teams. And like I kind of have the idea in my brain, but like understanding the mechanics in practice and whether it's actually right. Like you come up with these ideas, do they mean they're good? No. Come with thousands of bad ideas a year, right? Especially when it comes
it's
in
so
terms of gambling.
It's so tough in the NFL just because the sample size of games is so small, right? Like if teams...
That's why you kind of have to internalize some of this, like because you just don't have the data to work with, right? So, but then also too, you could have a coaching sample though, like NFL offers game books. You could look at McDermott, the play calling that he allows. Like he's not necessarily calling the plays, Brian Dabble is, but like on offense, they don't try and run. You know what I mean? They give up very easily. So almost like maybe a running play surrender index.
The Ravens are pretty fortunate here. They were really late to get to the line of scrimmage, and I think they took the penalty. Yeah. I'm surprised that the coaching staff didn't use a timeout.
They tried. They couldn't get it in time. You can't just press the select button, right?
Fat guy with a homage to
Well,
Madden.
it's a callback. It was on earlier, and I trashed the Madden game during that.
Third and nine's a much more difficult down for the Ravens offense than third and four, which is obvious to say, but
If you have to kick, though, I don't. I think you've lost 0.001 percentage.
oh man, did Sammy Watkins just lose that?
He must have. That was a catchable ball. I want to see Watkins. Oh, he just went for it.
Even at 90.8%, doesn't that feel low for Tucker?
Yeah. It does. It's just because, like, in
Like,
terms of
most of those have to be like 55 plus.
yeah. But like, also most of those are not game-winning attempts. Like, I only remember him missing one game-winning attempt, right? Like, so you have like this positive connotation with Justin Tucker because in all the big moments he's succeeded, right?
Yeah.
He's the best kicker of all time.
He's missed. Let's bring out a.
He missed 2 Pats last year, I think, though, which is funny.
He's only missed 31 field goals in his career, and 18 of the 31 have been from 50 plus. So he's only missed 13 field goals inside of 49 yards in his career.
How many years is that?
He started in 2012,
Almost
so
10
it's
years.
like 9
10
years.
Yikes, man.
152 games, so
I think we've brought this up before, but maybe we could pause it, chat. Is Justin Tucker worth a late first-round pick? What do you think, Big Rye? What do you think his value is in the draft? If you know this is what you're getting. Let's say that you do have a crystal ball.
honestly, with how well he's played, he's like a mid first round to me.
You think mid-first round?
Yeah, like 15 to 20. Like he's played so well. Like there's usually not 20 good players in most draft. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's usually like less than 20 Pro Bowl type players in a draft.
Mickey agrees. I think that's where I use it as my perception as the OU selfishly, but yeah, I think he's worth like a 20th overall pick.
He's only missed 4 extra points in his career, and in 2019 he went 57 for 59 on extra points. That's
Yeah, I think I remember that game, Mickey. I think I had money on that game too. Lee Evans dropped a touchdown in the end zone.
Yeah, Jackson brings up another good point too. Like, I feel like for
That's a
really good
great
teams,
answer.
he's worth it. But that's the thing, right? Like, you're gonna be whatever the highest team that values that. That's where you're gonna end up going.
You know what? I still think he's worth it for a bad team, because like the one thing about a kicker is it's not like getting a really good linebacker where like it won't like a really good linebacker is not going to impact your win probability as much as a really good kicker, oddly, but the pay isn't the same. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to pay Justin Tucker. I don't know what he makes. You should look it up. $6 million. I think that's a really good salary if that's because most kickers are making what 1.4. I guess we're gonna find out, aren't we?
He's making $5 million a year.
Yeah, that's great. Do you know what I mean? In terms, if you're to convert salary into win probability, like that's a home run. I think. Like, obviously, I'm doing a mental calculation.
It always like kickers like even more so than quarterbacks, it feels like there's a lot, like there's just not a lot of good kickers in the league, like field goal kickers specifically.
Well, the standout, right? Because it depends where the bar is set. You know, when you think of Justin Tucker in terms of kickers like him, there just isn't. Quarterbacks, there's at least there's almost a logjam in the top 5. Dude, Albert Wilson. I'm surprised he didn't get cut. He must have got a pay restructure.
Well, also like Fuller's been hurt. You
Oh,
need to
really?
have.
You mean Will Fuller was been hurt? So many clown receivers in this league.
You can tell how many times Fuller gets hurt in a season because they just put the Roman numeral at the end of his name.
Yeah. Oh,
The
Gesicki. Wow.
Gesicki made 2 very, very nice, like fingertip-esque catches last week, and it just feels like Humphreys is one of the better coverage
corners in the league. But
Yeah,
there's
like
a clear
especially on
look at the
tight ends.
size difference though. How tall is Mike Gesicki?
6'6".
He's got to be, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they said last week. So
Oh, there you go. Dude, did you see number 80? He kind of used that was borderline tripping. He used his feet to trip up number 50. It's
Well,
weird seeing Patrick Queen
can't-
with a 6. Look how small he is.
you can't line up a tight end on Justin Houston and expect him to get it done. Like
Yeah,
it just doesn't gonna happen.
I think he's earned that right. You know, probably second in sacks since Von Miller, you know, during that period, I would imagine. He's a 3rd round pick, though. Very similar careers to Von Miller's.
Just back-to-back play calls. It's just poorly done by the Dolphins. And like I don't know if like Brissett is able to kind of audible out of plays because the Ravens looked like they were bringing pressure and they got there. And I was looking at Waddle because it felt like that play was designed to get the ball to Waddle, and his route was just so long that like Brissett didn't have a chance.
How do they get these guys? I say it every Ravens game. Owe, we didn't know Owe this season. He's having like a great year. Tyus Bowser, and it's just next man up for them. They lose Matt Judon, whatever. They lose a Darius Smith, whatever. Like the team is awesome. Like on defense, it's just amazing.
Well, it just goes to show you like how important coaching is.
Yeah, that team stands out in terms of producing talent. Like,
well, like you draft and you build. It's the Detroit Red Wings model. That's how they stayed good for 20 years.
Yeah,
like you draft and you develop. Like you do everything.
It's harder
you
to
can
do, I think, in football because there's no supplemental league. Yeah, Tyus Bowser's playing his game. I just saw his number, unless my eyes lied to me, which is always possible.
They've slowly increased the number of players you can have on the practice squad, but it's kind of dangerous because you can, like, practice squad guys can get signed by anybody, as far as I know.
Yes.
And how can more players, like, if you're a team, why aren't you just taking the depth from the Ravens every chance you get? Like, you might as well get a practice squad guys instead of like the start. Like, you might as well underpay for a guy who's like half developed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
here?
no, 100%. You might as well, instead of having to pay the premium like Matt Judon, we got a massive deal. Yeah, Owe has 3 sacks this year, and 2 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery. 1 to win the game, might I add, against the Chiefs. Where is he from? He's a first round pick this year, 31st overall. It's just like, okay, he's a first round pick, but you just don't see the impact usually this quickly.
Brandon Williams is out tonight. Same with Latavius Murray. The only two really notable names. So I don't know if Bowser's playing or if he's still... if he's out.
He's got. I saw his number, so unless my, like I said, unless my eyes are. More, oh, it's so funny. Speaking of which, I don't really like the receiver choices the Ravens have made. You know, definitely padded their asses for quite some time, but like, I'm not. I don't think they've had that much success drafting receivers. So. It's a finicky position. No one should draft it in the first round. Man. Remember in the old days how good he was for the last like that year and a half in Atlanta, that 2 years?
You were such a big Devontae Freeman fan.
I
think you were the biggest Freeman fan I knew.
It's for well, I thought he was the best overall running back for about a year. It's just I've seen him get big and small, right? And I like that.
Man, you guys definitely need to clip that soundbite.
Who's out? Why is he getting so many carries?
Latavius Murray's out.
Oh, there you go. There you have it.
So it's Freeman, Bell, and Tyson Williams.
Tyson Williams is kind of fallen back. It's so weird to say. Latavius Murray is out. It's Devonta Freeman and Le'Veon Bell.
If you had to pick though between those three guys, you'd figure Freeman still has like the most, most of his legs under him. I think they just like the size of Latavius.
Yeah, Latavius Murray, nothing wrong with him. Absolutely nothing wrong with him. Was his peak year the year Atlanta made the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think so. Or it might have been the year before or after, too. Dick Night Train Lane, the king of the clothesline, Mickey. Well, how many, he got so many interceptions. For most ever by a rookie, I think, and most ever in a season. Hey, Jake, how are you?
What's going on, Jake?
Jackson with a quarterback draw right into traffic. Yeah, he was a violent man. He was a walk-on. A professional football player that walked on. I think he was a military man though, so I don't imagine he was soft by any means. Man, look at the size of the O-line when you really take into look at them stand there. And then Patrick Ricard's the same weight to some of them.
Yeah. Well, just offensive linemen as far as athletes go are it's ironic to say this, but it doesn't get much more athletic than those guys.
Some of them, yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jake. Yeah, that Titans win was great. I feel redemption. I had an argument with one of my friend groups. They're telling me about the Derrick Henry being worth 7 points. And I'm like, And I'm like, it's like one. And they're like, that's it. And then they argued with me before he even got hurt. They're like, there's no way they can win without him. I'm like, yes, they can. And then I don't know, it almost feels good. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, he's a great best running back in football currently, but you can win. Like, these are a group of professional athletes. You can win without a guy. That's a clear fumble. I don't know if it's recovered. Maybe
I think
Bateman got it.
Bateman got on it, but we'll see. Oh man, he got on it.
That seemed light. He didn't punch it out.
Oh, it's Marquise Brown.
I know. It's just, if anyone should have more, what do we call it here? More carefulness isn't the word I want. More awareness of ball security. Let's call it that. It should be someone like him.
And we just witnessed the 14th
Whoa!
miss in Justin Tucker's career inside of 49 yards.
49, such an arbitrary number, I guess. Not that I'm faulting you. That's just a common, you know.
Good start for the under. Yeah, we definitely did jinx Tucker. I should have never done that 5-minute expose on his career.
Curse of the Canadian commentators.
That joke about me looking up and telling someone, "Hey, let go of my ears. I know what I'm doing," is a real hit.
Oh, you've been using it?
Oh yeah, it's just magic everywhere I go.
It's one of my favorites.
Did you see that sports betting in Northwest Canada? Did you see the odds that they're putting out?
Yeah.
Minus 140
on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minus
That's the worst I've
140.
ever seen.
It's like, let me just look it up because that's almost statistically impossible to beat.
I think it is. Unless they have like a line that's like 4 points off and like with 2 key points, then it's beatable.
I haven't looked at the NBA markets tonight. Is there a big slate of games? I remember there being a lot of games. I don't know if that was tonight or last night. There's only 2 more games. There's Pacers Jazz start in 10 minutes.
Nice pickup, 37.
And then we got Heat Clippers later.
Clippers still have Kawhi and Paul George.
I think so. I know Miami has had a very strong start to the season.
I like when cornerbacks get in on tackles. You know what I mean? Like, I like a full, full 60 from them. Hey, fellas, I'm on Miami +9, just holding my nose. Small wager.
So
I have a very
does
small
Miami
wager as
does
well.
Miami have like a lot of players out? Is that why they're +9?
Well, it moved from 7 till 9, I think, because of Tua.
Oh,
So
you're talking about the NFL game. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the NBA matchup.
yeah, I have him +8.5. I took a really small bet. Ooh, Butterfingers Gasecki.
I really don't like some of these early play calls for Miami on offense.
You know what's interesting? How like deer in the headlights it is every time. Well, not every time. Most times you switch to a backup quarterback. And I'm not saying like it's Jacoby Brissett, but like in general, like it just feels like there's the preparation is just really trash, right? Like it's like as if the guy it's his first time ever playing.
Yeah. I've just been
Like I'm trying to
confused.
think of a
Like,
really good example. Oh, when Ben DiNucci played for the Cowboys. Oh, oh,
well, like on 2nd and 10 on the last drive, we got to see a tight end try to block Justin Houston, and he blew that up. So now you're
weird.
looking at a 3rd and 9, and then there's pressure coming, and instead of throwing it to like a hot route, they seem to put Waddle on the longest route ever to get 9 yards, and it didn't work out. And then on that last drive, they put Albert Wilson in motion to be the lead blocker, and Marlon Humphrey just blew it up. So the play just had no chance. Like I don't know what they're trying to do on offense here. Like, you're getting tight ends to block Justin Houston. You're getting small, speedy receivers to try to block Marlon Humphrey. Like,
But
it just
maybe
seems
they
like a
look at it
complete
this way, like
mismatch.
it does seem idiotic. They go, "Oh, if we can win this one matchup, we're going to get a big play." Like maybe that's the type of wishful thinking's in that room, like because I don't you and I don't get it. Like it happens all the time like that.
Yeah.
And like a tight end, it's not like it's Jason Witten. Do you know what I mean? Blocking Justin Houston, right?
No, it's like Smythe or like. Let
Yeah,
me
who
look
like
up
I
who
we don't even can't
actually.
even name them.
It was either Jerham Smythe or Adam Shaheen.
Yeah. That's going to work.
Yeah, Calais Campbell. And like Calais Campbell's old now.
He's very old. He's still like the tallest guy, and he might be the biggest guy in the NFL.
6'8", 300 pounds.
Well, he's only 300. I thought he was heavier than that.
He's born in 86, so he's 35. Talk about a good draft pick. 2nd-round pick, 50th overall in 2018, and the guy's still playing.
50th overall. You can't you can't do much better than that. I feel like Patrick Ricard's going to get a little bit of work here. I like a fullback. I really do.
What a play by Holland, who's had such a great start to this game.
That was awesome. That pass kind of left Jackson's hand a little bit weird. I thought that was going to get picked off just because we can't see the other side, right? But that's a really nice closing speed there. And no one in their right mind could argue pass interference.
Holland is...
He's a rookie, right?
Yeah. He's 2nd-round, 36 overall safety from Oregon.
Remember Rashad Jones just 2 years ago wanted the most money for a safety? Now he's not even playing.
I remember him, and I don't.
Oh, there he is. There's about Byron Jones, 29. I don't think he's in the league anymore. He might be on the field. I wasn't sure if they released him or they did release him then, eh?
He's unsigned, but he had an injury.
He wanted the most money in football. I know that, or for a safety, 2018, 2019 in that area.
He's first cousins with Adam Pac-Man Jones.
That would explain the attitude. You mean former Winnipeg Blue Bomber? We got a big sack here. You remember that?
There's been so many like weird NFL stints, but in the CFL stints by NFL players, and it doesn't seem like any of them have worked out.
Trying to think of one, and I can't come up with one
That worked out or that happened. Like Ricky
that
Williams came.
Yeah, I saw him.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
came and
it was awful. Oh, there's a lineman for the. They used to play for the Browns. He was like a swing tackle for the Browns. He played for and the Jags, and I think he had a successful CFL career. I think it's Austin Ryder. Oh, Austin Pastor. So many. It's different. I think that's it. Oh, he's Canadian. That's why. He never actually played in the CFL, huh? There you have it. So I guess not. He got drafted 4th overall. That's so weird. For those of you who don't know, the Canadian Football League will draft guys, and a lot of them don't end up playing. So I don't know who's hating on the Dolphins MVP. I do enjoy your music though.
Johnny Manziel released, barred from the CFL.
Is what's right?
It says that Johnny Manziel was barred from the CFL.
Why?
I don't know. It's just what it says. There's a podcast here. It says Johnny Manziel talks about losing respect from NFL teammates, and he's smoking a cigar while he's giving the interview. So
yeah, I've seen that.
Believe me, I'm cheering for Miami MVP. I like Flores. I like the Dolphins. I want to see them play better than they have. What's going on with Tua? What's the injury that's keeping him out right now?
That was ribs. They passed on an offensive lineman to draft Jalen Waddle. You know, it's not his fault either, right? Like, it's just I don't. And I'm not saying Sewell's going to be the best player ever, but like why? Like why?
Fractured finger, says Josh.
Is it throwing finger? It better be. Dude, Wilson has been crazy after the catch in those two plays, eh? He even ducked under a tackle to get 5 yards there.
Yeah, like I thought he was going to get tackled in the backfield for sure.
So did I. That's their only 2 plays, or those 2 Albert Wilson plays. You think Wink Martindale dyes his facial hair?
Here's a trick play by Miami. Well, at least they tried.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Harbaugh likes that. I didn't think I'd see the words Albert Wilson sacked this game, but here we are.
Yeah.
It's Humphreys versus Gesicki. Like, it's very clear. If you can win that battle, it's one-on-one coverage. So
that's a good indicator of who your WR1 is.
They just did a pick play for Waddle, and that's what we got.
He could have ran for that one too, I think. It would have been him versus Humphreys who would have turned around. He would have had to plow through. Isn't that an indicator? If the opposing defense, it's the Ravens, so we're gonna give them an A for competency, is putting man coverage on Mike Gesicki, doesn't that give you an idea of who your biggest receiving threat is?
Well, I think it's just I feel like Humphrey plays like every tight end like that. Like, that's probably how the Ravens do it. It's just interesting that he's able to win this matchup, right? It makes it extra hard to play against a team like the Ravens that have a guy that can cover a tight end, of his caliber.
Even if it's a cornerback. I guess it kind of has to be. Like, what linebackers are covering tight ends? None that we know of, really. The last one was Telvin Smith, and I hope he dies in a fire. I liked him too. That's a part. I felt duped. Hey, Jamie, how are you?
Well, so far so good for the under. The one thing I haven't been doing is checking what the live lines are in this game.
Miami's got to be still like plus.
The live line is 9.5.
400.
Yeah, Ravens minus 471 on the money line. Dolphins plus 365.
That was close.
The OU's at 36 right now. It might be good to buy back on the take a middle on the over under.
Take a middle on the over.
36 to 46.5 is a pretty nice gap of key numbers to have.
The Ravens pile on too. It's not the end of the might be worth it taking the middle.
Just trying to remember what the lowest key number is.
You have a chart, luckily.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how inept that was. They're doing a 7 reference. A movie about a serial killer to talk about Wheaties. Nice. Nice pop from 52. A Landon Roberts, former Buccaneer and Patriot. And there is the bloated Dan Marino. Laces out, Dan. And Ray Finkel victim. I love these ones when the guy doesn't know that they're on camera.
They show way too many like player parents in the stands, and it feels like half the time they're bumbling on their phones.
Oh, you watch Seven, Jackson? It's it's a crude Hollywood style movie. I like that it's always raining in the movie, and it's set up very dark in the cinematography. It's a David Fincher, right? Oh, and the story of the guy who wrote it when he was trying to sell his script to Hollywood. That's a good one. I'll let you look it up. It's too long to talk about on stream. Dude, they got 3 guys on that. You'd love to see it on defense, eh?
Yeah. It's been a
They're talking.
puzzling
Speaking
game.
of premier corners, there's Xavier Howard. You know, it's funny when Freeman was running up to him. I'm like, there's no guarantee he doesn't get out of this.
Yeah.
Sam Cook, the biggest play he ever made was taking a safety. Lost $300 at Super Bowl.
Another great play by Holland. You see so many returners just leave that, and then it's like bouncing around and has the danger of one, losing yardage, and 2, turning it over.
It was a little bit spicy too. There were 2 guys around him. I'm supposed to fill in the dead air, but apparently I'm not good at that either. Holy.
Well, it's been an impressive start on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. Like, neither team has had much success. I guess
hard to hold the Ravens to 3 points, and even then it was like capped at 6, right? Like they're showing more commercials for electric vehicles. I'm curious, like, because you plug them in on the street, like, isn't there a hazard for tampering? Like, I'm curious how they're going to combat that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
All right, Big Right, here's the big question. Are you going to OU the middle?
I haven't yet. I was just looking at key numbers, and like, this is going to be super, super particular, but I think I will if it gets on to less than 30.
Yeah, but then it's the same though. It's the time cost. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's not quite the same.
The whole thing is right now we're cruising to a win on the OU. and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
so I can be picky on.
Did you see that hit from Patrick Queen? Wow. It's a slow grinding game, eh?
Yeah, just outside of those first two drives for the Ravens, it's just been very, very hard to get yards.
And even then, right? Any red zone trips? I don't think so.
The Ravens were sniffing at the red zone on the first drive, but the key play there was on third and fourth. They took that penalty.
That was a really nice play from Brissett under pressure.
I don't like that Waddle caught that with his body.
Yeah. It's like he's bracing for a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what do you think's going to happen if, you make contact during the right time too? You better get this ball off here, guys. That felt like delay a game. They give you that 1 second grace period.
Well, I love they say like the ref has to look at the time clock and then look to see if the ball is snapped, which I find hilarious. Like you can't see both at the same time.
Where's Ruggs? Probably, I would hope, in jail for a very long time. Actually, the rest of his life.
I kind of want the Ravens to stop him here on 3rd and 1 just to see what the fourth down decision is.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'd like to see that too. So I guess Tua is suited. So I guess he's an emergency quarterback.
Yep. They did the same thing with him last week. I think we're gonna get a Brissett sneak here.
I'd be okay with that.
We don't. We get play action.
I hate this so much. That's a great catch, though.
Adam Shaheen.
Look how dangerous and high variance that play is. Like,
there is like a height mismatch there, but like it helped that Clark essentially fell down.
Yeah. The backup, though, you can never get called for offensive pass interference. So, I actually have a bit more money than I thought on Miami plus 8.5 at plus 110 and plus 111. Oh, I forgot. I didn't key it in my entries. That's all. Not huge, but more than I thought, which is nice considering the red zone. So that was a hold. MVP, not everything's personal. I mean, top-notch MVP. My mistake. Oh, that looked like a pick. Oh, Jaceki having a rough game today. He's got the targets. He doesn't have the receptions. Oh, if he would have cut in nicer, that would have had a way better chance at a reception.
Clark did a really good job getting his hand in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough team to score on. Oh my god, a screen with no blockers. Do you see Justin Houston?
I saw him laughing.
Just snap it and throw to 96. He's got a one-on-one. Up the top of the screen. Oh my goodness.
Averett looks short. I'm going to check to see what his height is.
Is he a rookie?
2018 fourth round pick. 5'11", 183.
He's a first round pick. I don't remember him.
Fourth round.
Oh, okay. I don't like how this is set up. And there we go. Tie game. Oh my! On that hold call, they're playing "You Spin Me Right Round."
The comedy's full force. Despite getting points on that drive, the OU actually went down to 33.5.
Yeah, because it's the expected points were higher, considering where they were on the field.
So I can't remember in the picks video, was Baltimore 7.5 or 6.5?
I don't know. Did we achieve closing line value?
Well,
Probably. If we took Baltimore, we did.
This is what I'm getting at, is that I'm pretty sure we took Baltimore, and I'm pretty sure it was like...
No, we took Miami.
Did we? Oh, because it moved to 7.5.
Yeah.
So what's MVP so upset about?
If I told you, it would not be appropriate.
Well, I'm just confused if we took the Dolphins.
Well, because we probably didn't take the Dolphins all 10 weeks.
That doesn't make very much sense, though. Why would you take the Dolphins every single week?
Because they're the best team that's ever existed. See, they went undefeated once. Why couldn't they do it again?
What is the Dolphins' ATS this year?
Probably not very good, I would imagine.
Well, let's take a look. They're 3-5-1 on closing lines. And they're 3-6 on opening lines. They've been the 27th bet team as far as percentages go, 31st as far as percentage of money, and 31st as far as number of bets. So not a very popular team to bet this year in all three aspects of the market. Even this game, only 65,191 bets. And despite the line opening at 7.5, there's still closing line value on Baltimore.
I think America should adopt the poppy thing that the Commonwealth does. And Britain. I think Britain does poppies. It's a nice look. So I actually think it's my favorite holiday. Remembrance Day. I'm not even joking.
I think that's fair to say. I know it's one that's near and dear to your heart, and I'm sure a lot of others it is as well.
It actually is. It's a good day to be thankful.
That is for sure.
Is that Williams?
It's Le'Veon Bell, and like he just doesn't even look like the same player anymore. It's like
I know, but it's
very strange watching him play.
But like you have to think of your dedication actually has to get stronger as you get older, and I feel like it's gone the other way for him. You know, he's got a job here, but like he took a year off. Like who takes a sabbatical from pro sports and costs themselves a whole pile of money?
Well, he made it back in videos.
Yeah, did. Is rapping too? I'm sure he did. Oh, nice play. 91. Is that Emmanuel Ogbah?
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure that's Emmanuel Ogbah.
Oh my goodness. One of my mining companies have to close. It was the only stock I had today that went down, and it's because their permit expired today and they didn't have a backup. Way to go! And I just bought this company. A joke.
That sucks.
It's pretty funny. Went down 6%.
It happens.
Oh yeah, I can't win them all. This has been a nice display from the you see 27 plow into that other player? That was awesome. This has been a nice display from Miami's defense.
Jackson, not a fan of Le'Veon Bell's rap
Rhymes.
skills.
Yeah.
He's no island boy. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that was almost blocked too. Yeah, I hope they do, Mickey. I own a bunch of different silver mining companies, so like it's not really the end of the world. And that one's like my second smallest holding, but it's just funny how does that even happen? We're talking like massive businesses, right? But then me and Big Rye always say it again, like these NFL teams are multi-billion-dollar entities, and we see some of the dumbest things ever, with like on a weekly basis.
It's like scary, the incompetence that you see at times.
It's because it makes you wonder about everything, right? Oh, Jackson knows them. The Island Boys are one person. Changed my mind. They probably have the average IQ of one person combined. They're sorry, the IQ of an average person combined, but
Consider yourself lucky, Mickey.
it's a bunch of cool guys with face tattoos. Well, two cool guys.
It's two kids that live in Florida that have, I think they're Cuban originally.
Does it matter?
They're in the rap game now. But it's like it's been a viral thing lately, as far as I can tell. Dolphins are getting it done on defense. I don't know what the team total was for the Ravens to start this game, but the Miami defense is really locking
You think it's
them down.
a fraction, Jackson? We combine the two? I'm feeling like he could be, but
It's pretty telling when your quarterback gets hit like that on the sidelines and only one player comes over on your own team.
it's not. That wasn't an illegal hit, though.
It wasn't, but like, if that was Tom Brady or someone else, there's some havoc on the sidelines.
There is an argument to be made, though. Has Tom Brady ever put himself in that situation?
No, but you know
No.
what I'm saying.
Yes, I do know what you're saying.
If it was Lamar Jackson and that happened, there'd be a couple.
Yeah, maybe.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how many more possessions we get to end this half. I don't know what happened to Brissett there. Do they even have another quarterback?
I don't think so. That felt like a hold. Good job, Waddle. I don't think they gave him. I don't think that's a good spot.
I don't think so either, but it was very close. It looked like he
he got it, I think. That was a bad spot.
As far as our lad says, this is the only two quarterbacks.
You gonna challenge this or? Oh my! What are you doing?
They still have all three timeouts. Like, you don't really need them for anything else. This is definitely worth challenging.
Oh, they gave it to him.
I also don't get how they marked it a full yard short, and now they've changed their spot on the ball. Live OU's at 30.5. But like Fat Guy brought up a good point. Like, if no one scores in this game, it's going to get down to 30.5 eventually. Oh, it's now down to 30.
Here's your chance.
The thing that's tough about the OU in this game is that both of these teams stick to the run.
Yeah. How hot is it? They got all the fans on. Like, what's November like in Miami?
It's 26 Celsius there right now, which in Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
78. Two-minute warning, 3rd and 7. For Jackson, it's 29.5 with bad juice. I'm still not buying the over. I'm monitoring. I'm keeping my eye on it, thinking about it, but you're pretty much reaching the point where like all the key numbers are above 30, but that doesn't mean that this isn't an outlier game where there's going to be, 23 points scored. Miami has tropical weather because of the Gulf Stream, and it's so far south.
It is very far south. How far is it from Cuba? Like, could someone have theoretically could someone swim there? Like, someone swims the English Channel like from
90
time to
miles.
time? I guess you could. Obviously, not me, but.
Oh, man. Almost picked off.
Wow.
Brissett's really, really having a tough time with the man coverage. Like, he hasn't been able to, like, pinpoint his throws to give his receivers the edge, I feel like. Outside of that.
To put him on the money, yeah.
Yeah, like, outside of that Shaheen catch,
But
which Clark fell down.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to credit him with that. Oh, just so you know, the Island Boys, one of them is procreated, so that's good.
I completely disagree. I think that's terrible, but
Yeah, I don't like your outlook on humanity.
I'm so dumb. I had to think about what procreated meant for a few seconds there.
Through coitus.
Again, I'm going to have to look both these things up.
It's like that friend of ours who needlessly uses big words to purposely not be able to communicate with people.
Yeah. I think,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I think you know where we're going. The guy who has a nasal problem.
Oh, from all this partying?
Yeah, yes. Got a cold all the time. I'm curious of the history of Cuba now, since only 90 miles from Florida. It's very interesting. I mean, like it must have been a hub or like a pirate hub back in the day, I would guess.
Also, one of my favorite websites.
Pirate hub? Oh. We're really filling the dead air with the viewers.
It's spicy. Like we're watching both teams run the ball here in the 2-minute warning. So
Both have 3 timeouts. You get a sack here, you can consider taking a timeout if you're Miami. Nice.
I'm sure it's very beautiful.
I want to see like the. It sounds so stupid. I watched like a 45-minute documentary on Cuban technology because of communism, they had to be very creative. The locals did with how they invented stuff, and it was really neat because they repurposed everything. Everything. It was so cool. 3rd and 5 here. Let's go Dolphins. 0 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. Definitely running under expectations. The Dolphins are. What a play! 55. You should call a timeout here, Miami. That was awesome. Play the game. Play the game right there.
I know this game's been a defensive
Dude, look
battle.
at the effort level on that, though, man.
But if Miami calls a timeout here, as the Ravens, do you go for this or do you kick it?
I don't know. I'm gonna go for it anyways. But what field are they? Are they at the 50?
I think they're just. Well, I can see here. They're at their own 45.
Miami gets the ball too. I don't know. Then maybe. So you're not exactly threatened, right? Like analytically, it's probably close. That was awfully close. Holland's had a bunch of hairy situations.
Holland has looked so comfortable. This is such a like mean nothing reference to everybody in chat, but he looks like Drew Doughty when he first played for Team Canada. Like he was just dancing on the bench, like just chill, like a young player who just seems way too comfortable to be there, like in a good way. Like he's played great this game. He's made some really nice plays. Like he started off with that massive hit on the sidelines on Freeman.
Yeah.
And then he had the pass breakup.
Whatever, like, how did Drew Doughty's career materialize after?
Excellent. The guy's been a very good player. He's won gold medals. He's won Stanley Cups. Like, there's got to be like a pro hockey reference, I'm sure. There we go, hockey reference. He's been Looks like he won a Norris trophy.
Once?
I think so.
Nice. Go out of bounds, 87. What are you doing?
Is it Isaiah Ford?
You turn inwards. What are you going to run to the house? Yikes, man. You need that timeout. Look how stupid that is.
Just a lot of lack of awareness. Like,
Wink Martindale looks like he rides a scooter at Target.
oh, like Mobile Mary?
I don't know who that is.
Well, I'll share some Mobility Mary stuff with you. It's terrific. But Mobility Mary was someone who had a... It was a lady who was, let's say, overweight. Lady? Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And she had...
part of my community.
She had a GoPro on a scooter.
And that's how you record things.
And she would drive around, I think she was in California, and she would drive her
99
scooter
put his
around.
hand offside. Yeah.
And specifically, like, she would try to put herself in hairy situations to get mad at people. And she thought she was, like, being a vigilante by posting this stuff. And it completely backfired because everyone just
that's the best.
Said she was such a terrible person. So she ended up taking her channel down, but somebody else saved everything she did. Of course,
there's always receipts on the internet. That was a nice play by Patrick Laird to get out of bounds.
It's very... There's some very, very fun ones to watch.
I wouldn't mind.
Now he can finally cut it back. And such a key tackle there by Stone.
How is he so slow? Like all of a sudden, Ford. That should have been a house call. What is going on? And now they're going to have to take a timeout, which they did. Like, not going out of bounds on that other one might have cost him a touchdown.
Isaiah Ford runs a 4.61 40.
Okay, well then, it's interesting that if you're gonna get tackled, just go out of bounds. Like I don't know.
Stone was behind Averett on that play, and Stone was the one that made the tackle. Averett was like jogging back. I don't know what that guy was doing on the... It's been a very bizarre one. And imagine if he goes out of bounds on that play a couple plays earlier.
Yeah, we have a high frequency touchdown. Top-notch MVP. I have the dedication to believe in the Dolphins.
They got to get a spike here. There's a flag on the play which might kind of save them.
That's pretty lame. No, that doesn't look like a helmet-to-helmet hit. They pick up the flag, but look, they just gave him a timeout.
Geo Stone,
and then
7th round pick from 2020.
Harbaugh's yelling at them, run the clock. They just gave him a spot. You have to snap this ball, Miami. You got spotted 10 seconds. What are you doing?
That was so helpful for them.
Yeah, you got spotted 10 seconds and you're not ready to snap the ball? Yikes, man. You got one more play to run here.
They still have 9 seconds, so really 2 more attempts at the end
I
zone,
guess 2 more attempts. It's just
depending
why
on.
did they have to give up that?
But this is like I know Waddle's a little bit undersized, but like you get a guy like
Yeah,
that here,
a really quick guy,
yeah, to run his zig route or whatever you're gonna do.
dude, or even like a drag.
The drag kind of sucks because it's too long. Like it can take too long to materialize. Like you want
Yeah, I
2
guess
quick
that's
hitter
true.
type plays.
Or a flat, like just run diagonally. Like, yeah,
They ran a pick play earlier with him and Jaceki on one side, but it's like really really tough to watch this offense. Like the coaching staff get these plays in, and I think we're gonna get a pick play up top. That's my guess, and then we have Waddle 1-on-1 at the bottom. All right. Well,
now what? Now what do you do?
Well, you do the same thing. You get one more chance at it.
Oh, yikes, dude, that was PI.
Oh no, they're really kicking it.
They are.
That's tough. Dolphins take the lead though, 6-3 to end the half.
Thanks for spoiling it, jerk. They're getting the ball back too. What does that mean? I don't know.
Well, live line is Ravens -3, Ravens -186. Live OU 31.5. I hope that the Dolphins kick this short and it gets fair caught so we can see Justin Tucker try an extremely long field
Be
goal.
great.
Or like place kick. I don't even know what they're actually called. I know we're not going to get that though. They're just going to kick it out the back of the end zone.
Isn't it possible though? Like, it hasn't been done, but it would be possible, would it not?
Yeah, I saw the Raiders attempt it with Janikowski, like I don't know, probably 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin got fired after doing that, right?
I don't know if that was the same one, but because I don't even think you get a chance to like return it. It's just one of those ones where
The spot kick, I think it's called.
yeah, it's like you can only do it after a fair catch. So pretty much it either has to be on like a super deep punt at the end of the half or on a safety. And I think it was off a safety that they tried it.
Dude, was that Rob Ryan on the sidelines? I think it was. We see it all the time. Fair catch, free kick. That's
Fair
that's
catch
right.
kick. We get
I saw a couple greens.
I think I'm thinking of them. I think it was a Phil Dawson kick that I remember. And here you can see 71 yards and it was missed by San Fran. Joey Sly and the Panthers tried it in 2019 on a 60-yarder and missed. That game was in London, so
Oh, was that against the Giants?
Confusion. It was against the Buccaneers.
I don't recall that one.
The last kick made in this scenario was in 1976 by the one and only Ray Wersching for the San Diego Chargers. It was a 45-yarder, last known successful fair catch kick in the NFL. And then 1979, Mark Mosley attempted a 74-yarder. Says the longest field goal attempt on record until 2008.
You don't know Longleg Mosley? Jeez. Where have you been?
Also in 1980, the Broncos tried it with Fred Steinfort. Can't make these names up. There's only 6 have been made, and the first one was kicked by Curly Lambeau.
Well, there you go.
If you want to stump your friends at the bar next time, you can ask them the question: who was the first kicker in NFL history to make a fair catch kick?
I haven't been to a bar in like 8 months.
Well, Lindsay Lohan, she sure can't swim a lick, but she sure knows every dive in town.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was hoping you were going to go there with that.
I'll be back shortly. I'm going to grab myself some food.
How many points is a touchdown? Well, did some people put 7, Jackson? That's always the interesting one. Michael Vick, not exactly steady on the mic here. I guess as I say that, it's kind of like apropos, like I'm stumbling through it. At least mine's not rehearsed though, written on a card. Answers weren't public. I'm gonna read a book tonight. A little bit of work to catch up on. Well, tons of work, but I think I'm gonna spend time to read a book. I don't get it, Jackson. I really, 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 really don't. There's so like the NFL has so much egg on its face with like all of the like all of the player improprieties. It's like crazy. Although there was that, my favorite one is the EPL. I can't remember. I have to know what the number is, but they tested the player populace for cocaine, and like I think such an astounding number of them tested positive that they just didn't punish anybody. I think that was during like the Adrian Mutu days, the Romanian guy from Chelsea. It was something crazy, like 30%. And cocaine only stays in your system for like 4 days. So like I mean maybe there was just some insane partying on the weekend, I guess. It's just so weird. Cam Newton back on the Panthers. I guess is probably the best option. I is anyone else finding that like a lot of the NFL lines are just getting hard? Like I'm liking less and less stuff like over the years, and like there's stuff where I'm like okay, like I this is funny too. I had three really good plays last week, and they all lost. Like I beat the closing line dramatically. I ended up getting on the right side of a quarterback exchange 3 times, right? But it's not even the result. I don't care about that. It's just those spots seem harder to come by, right? Not even those spots, but I mean like general handicapping. And throughout the like in the beginning of the year, it always gets here harder as the year goes on. But like I don't know, it's getting tougher. I'm not sure like I can beat the spread market by very much every year, you know. And I might maybe next year's the final year that I get the nail in the coffin. I won't be able to do it. See you, Jackson. Have a good one. Oh yeah, well I don't bet every game. It's I you know, it just there's usually a little bit more opportunity. You know, like I rarely I don't even pick that many games to begin with, but like the only angle I've been able to successfully employ this year is injury and stuff. Like I got another one this week. Like I followed the Minnesota COVID situation really closely, and I got the Chargers at -2.5, -104, -105, and -108. I bet on 3 books. So one was a free bet. Um, one was the max I could bet on that game at that time was a smaller book, and then -105. I bet the remainder of my unit sizing at Pinnacle. So like I'm happy with it. I'm just saying it's just it feels like on a standard game it's a lot harder, and I don't like things as much as I used to. Then also too, I've been more pessimistic as well. So I'm trying to look for different angles now that I think about it. So we have some really me and Big Rye have some really big stuff in the background. So like I haven't made a video Ask the Fat Guy in a few weeks because uh like we hired a programmer and I've been working with him and I don't know when we're gonna be able to show you, but it's we're gonna have some very interesting data that you won't be able to find on the internet. So I probably shouldn't have spoiled that maybe, but you know, because it's gonna be it's gonna be a long progress. So yeah. Troy Aikman's having trouble with the dead ear. I don't think this has been a bad game necessarily. I like stalemates. It's harder to stream during the stalemates because like whenever I like watched like a really good game, like one of my favorite games ever was a Monday or a Monday nighter. It was Baltimore. I brought it up before, Baltimore and Jacksonville, and it was like 12-10 or something. You kind of like just it's like when you're just a viewer, you know what I mean? Like it's a bit more enjoyable. It's harder for me to fill the dead air. I'm not not the best broadcaster, and I'm a bigger talker than Big Rye, so it's like it's 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 harder to find points, right? Whereas offensively, it's a bit easier. But I enjoy the defensive games more, if that makes any sense. So 147, 2-1, over 2-1 passing yard advantage for the Miami Dolphins to the Baltimore Ravens. It's it's impressive. They don't not much going on the ground, but still. What are the chances the Dolphins actually score a touchdown here? 15%? Man, that stadium looks empty. Aaron Andrews kind of lost her luster, I feel, a little bit, for me at least. Well, they are winning, Josh Allen, but I still think it's like a 15% chance they score a touchdown in this setup. Man, Brandon Williams is not playing for the Ravens, and that's not mattering in terms of running the ball. No, defense has been playing incredibly for both sides. But there's like only two breakdowns from Miami or sorry, from Baltimore, none from Miami. Good luck, Mickey. Good luck. Oh, they needed that reception. This isn't exactly a third and long offense. Oh, that should be an easy completion. Well, the receiver turned inwards, though. I'm surprised he didn't turn outwards. I mean, I guess it's a miscommunication. I don't like their chances getting this third down. Yeah, standard. He might have got hurt there. He's screaming. This is really not good for Miami. And I hope for the player's sake that he's okay. That's bad. I haven't heard a scream come out through the microphone with that type of. Oh, I know. Oh, that's not good. What does it feel like for the defender? You're laying on a guy and he's screaming. Like, it's got to be a really weird, surreal experience.
I missed any good action?
Brissett might be really hurt.
Ooh, so we might get a game with Tua handing the ball off.
Yeah, he put his helmet back. He was screaming. It didn't look like the worst, but it could be a bad knee injury. Like, there's still that possibility, right? Not exactly the Superman glasses. He doesn't have glasses. I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess Clark Kent does, though.
You're here for the superhero expertise.
Yeah, sure. You know, it's interesting, though. Like, I always love that. Like, you take the glasses off and you don't know the guy. Like, that's the big reveal. It's not a, like, Serrano de Bergerac mask or whatever with the long nose. What's for dinner here, Big Rye?
Leftover curly fries and some toast.
So you went all carb here?
It's terrible.
You're like those guys from Pittsburgh I saw that sent back a salad in a Canadian restaurant because it didn't have French fries in the salad. I found that very, very interesting. So, because where they're from, he said all salads come with fries on them.
I got these. I got a clubhouse sandwich for lunch, and we ordered it from the same breakfast place you and I went to by my place recently, or like a year, whatever
a year ago, yeah.
And you had to pay extra for curly fries, so I'm thinking like, okay, they're probably pretty good. They didn't even season them.
Well,
they were undercooked and there was no seasoning. It was like,
you got an air fryer and you got salt, right?
Well, I just did that right now and it's way better now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was gonna ask you, is that common? Like, is it common in restaurants to not season?
It's terrible, not season. It's you over season if anything.
I was very confused.
Oh, he walked on his own power. That's good. You know what? You could be in shock, though. I had that knee injury, and I was in shock, so. They did not. Look at that punt. Oh, my. Do you see Jackson's confidence on that turn when he's looking at the defender head on?
He bowled him over.
Like, look, he just like, this is no problem. Man, what would it feel like driving a Ferrari like that, being Lamar Jackson here? Because look, he's like, oh, okay, 43 has no hope. No hope. Yeah, Andrew Van Ginkel. No hope of tackling me in the open field. I'm surprised he even got that much. Le'Veon Bell. He looks light, too.
Yeah, like he doesn't look like the same player.
Good for Brissett. He's nodding his head like he's okay. They got to get over there. Holland is late to the party up top. Duvernay in motion. Nice job, Miami. Right on.
Ogba blows up another play with his ability.
Former second-round pick by the Cleveland Browns. He's been in the league some time now. He wrecked that play. And it's good not to react. Like, for him not to react, he let the party show up, the cavalry. That was a nice play. Defense last 7 quarters, 7 sacks, 4 takeaways. But that includes a pretty awful performance by Tyrod Taylor. So, very cherry-picked, but still good nonetheless. Oh, my. Oh, my. That's almost intercepted, too.
I can't
No
believe
flag?
he got away from that
Perfect.
pressure.
What's that? I can't believe he shook and jived Holland out of the way. That was, oh man. Dude, and that's like, it's not like Holland is not an athletic player, you know what I mean, to pull that off.
He's the kick returner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what's interesting about that 27 nearly getting a pick? I don't like Brown's chances in a jump ball situation against really anybody.
I agree completely. That's why I like Brandon Cooks so much. Like, Cooks looks small, but he wins jump ball type catches, and like he'll catch the ball at the peak and stuff. Like,
his pre-draft advertisement was that he was like a burner, and like his first season he kind of was for New Orleans, and then like as you kind of like, if you pay closer attention to games, you're like, wait, no, this is just a complete receiver. He doesn't even do the burner stuff really anymore. But I mean, he's been in the league a long time. And don't forget too, like, he was always the like playoff add-on. Because how many teams has he played for now? Is this his 5th, Houston? Spell it wrong again.
I'm not even on the right site.
Always classy with the I instead of the O. I like switching up my vowels.
Houston's his 4th team.
I thought it was his 5th. It was I can't quite see it. So New Orleans, New England, LA Rams, Houston. Is that what we got timeline wise? Yeah.
And he actually has a better career AV than Odell Beckham.
Yeah, he's a better player. Like, it's not, I don't even think it's close.
I also think he's played more seasons, so it's
yeah. But he's also played on like playoff teams too. Like, I don't see a team there that hasn't made the playoffs aside from Houston.
Well, he's also played, like, he missed 6 games his rookie year. He missed 3 games over the past 2.5 seasons.
But did the Rams miss the playoffs in 2019? Or was that Super Bowl Rams? I can't remember. 2018 was Super Bowl Rams?
Tua's in.
Brissett's upset that he didn't get to go back in. So they put Tua in. We got a left-handed quarterback in here. I guess Tua's more mobile. Like, and what finger? Which hand is his finger injured on?
He doesn't have anything like taped up or anything like that, so
that's weird.
It's hard to know.
They're gonna give Ford progress. Yeah, they are. That's some fighting from Jalen Waddle. Nice job. There's a background search tool called Instant Checkmate, Big Rye.
Instant checkmate?
Yeah. It doesn't really give the notion of neutrality there. That assistant looked like a short Brandon Whedon. What were the Browns thinking? Was he a 27-year-old rookie quarterback?
I think 29.
Can you beat like the heat's coming? Dude, 73 blocked 2 guys. That was brutal. I want to see the angle behind him. Look at Patrick Queen took a terrible angle. And if they just drafted Justin Herbert, holy.
Talking Miami.
You need a penalty here.
Yeah.
2 has a weird face mask. I didn't notice. I'm going to look closer next time. Blake Ferguson. I don't think you can afford mistakes when you're wearing a 40s number. Like, something's got to break here. Like, the Dolphins, it's tough to play this, like, this much defense. Like, you know what I mean? Be on the field this much. It needs a leg up because this is where the wheels fall off for every defense that's having a good game.
Yeah.
You know, start of the 4th, end of the 3rd, you've just been on the field too much. Because, like, these snaps they're playing the Ravens, they're not, like, incomplete passes. These are, like rough, like, battles in the run game. You know what I mean? Just feel like the defensive regression is higher in those situations, so...
We've just seen it so many times where, especially like an underdog team, plays so well defensively for the first like 2.5, 3 quarters, and then it just completely falls apart at the end.
There's a complete dog pile of points, and they just look helpless. You know what? I'm trying to think of this exact scenario. Indianapolis Colts when they played the Ravens. They ended up losing in overtime.
You would know better than I.
Yeah, we streamed that game.
I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'll be back in just a minute.
Holy high maintenance. Kind of dove on his head and landed Roberts. Wow, 92 in the backfield. I don't even know that guy. Sealer?
Man, what a big tackle for a loss.
I know, it's such a... I want to see this play again. Like, who... He had to be unblocked there, and he was. Oh, Ricard had to make a choice. Should play closer up top there, though. All these... See, and I just called it, too. God. And you're Byron Jones. You're not a... And he had his hand in there, too. Good job, Bateman. They had to... Like, it's down in distance is 5 yards. You gotta be a little bit closer. It's the first third down conversion by the Ravens. This has got to be a sack. Oh, almost a fumble too. I don't remember Jackson getting sacked this much. Do you?
I don't, but they've done a good job keeping him inside the pocket.
You know, it's interesting. I almost feel like if he just ran, he'd be better off this game. The only game, like, one of the only times I actually think so.
Well, you figure you'd see more of it with how this game has been going.
But you're probably juggling a lot of stuff if you're Lamar Jackson, because they're probably trying to work on, like, okay, your athleticism isn't going to last forever. Like, we have to figure out a sustainable situation. I watched Shanahan talk about that very thing about Robert Griffin III, and it was kind of interesting.
Live LU's down to 25.5.
I might go for a middle if I were you. Don't get burned here. Is it a zero blitz, really? No, it's pretty heavy, though. He's got to run. No flag, no flag, no flag, no flag, no flag. This is one of the better defensive performances. Nice job, Miami. Jalen Phillips, that's their first round rookie.
Wow, Live OU's 23.5 now.
Don't line up offside, which it looks like they are. I think that was a flag against Andrew Van Ginkel. I don't know what you're proving, MVP, but great for you. And Dedication is one of my favorite songs.
Well,
And let's go Miami.
You have money on Miami. We picked Miami in the picks video.
You're going to have to make a read here, Big Ryan. You ever been to Disneyland? Big Rye?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a fun. I agree, Jake.
This is 5-star entertainment. This game's been awesome. This game's been
nothing wrong with it.
This game's been pretty good.
They'd be very good friends, Mickey. They're from the same state, I believe, too. Yes, it would be, Jake. Who'd I take in Miami this week?
Live line Miami's plus 138.
I took the Colts this week against the Jags.
You can get Ravens minus 2.5. Oh, never mind. I take it all back.
Oh, Baltimore is going to knock out a bunch of... Wow, I'm really going to get down there because it's a 2-strike league. Baltimore is going to get rid of a bunch of people. Oh, great pickup. Did you see that? Did you see that from the running back?
Was that Myles Gaskin with the block?
I guess so. That was awesome. Those are the plays you got to highlight in a game like this.
Brissett looks gingerly walking on the sideline.
Yeah, I guess Brian Flores had to make a tough decision there. Tipped. Albert Wilson's having a really gritty game here.
It hasn't been like a huge difference, but I do feel like this offense is better with Tua than with Brissett. Just from
it's a pretty small sample, but yeah. I think the added dynamic that Tua is more mobile is going a longer way, and I don't maybe that's why Flores made that decision, because I mean, if Brissett's mobility is hurt even worse, it's only going to go negatively, right? Yeah. And Mickey's right. The guy was screaming, right? He might be in shock.
The thing that I like watching Tua over Brissett, it just feels like Tua's making quicker decisions with the ball.
I don't think his delivery is as good though, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been the results haven't been great either way.
Like, and I'm just starting to like you really gotta like, can you pull off a few first downs for the defense? I'm not even saying score points, right? Like, this isn't an like you're playing one of the most dangerous quarterbacks. Do you know what I mean? And you've held him to essentially nothing. Like, you can't just, you're not gonna be able to sustain this, you know. To fracture middle finger on his throwing hand is what Joe Buck confirmed. His field position isn't the greatest, which is good for Miami. Oh man, did you see that? That corner almost hit the ball out of the air. That was great. This is base 4-3 defense. Man, you know what I like about these? This might be a nice film study for teams playing Baltimore. On these run options, they're just rushing everyone around. Like they're creating a sphere. There's no back doors, you know?
Yeah, they've done a
Like
good
there's
job.
nowhere to go. That Baker 55's had a nice game. Mark Andrews. I'm curious if this hit the ground or not. He got whistled. Miami challenged. All right. Nice angle, buddy. I don't think he caught it. These camera angles have been brutal. If those are the two angles the refs are going to be using, how could you overturn it? I have no idea.
It's bumbling around, but I don't actually see it hit the ground.
It does touch the ground, but like the angle is so horrible. Like it's hard for me to make that judgment. My guess is Miami loses a challenge here, or
That's
loses a
my
challenge
guess
in a
as
timeout.
well.
But I don't know what angles they have because the three they provided the viewer is just atrocious.
When he
I think it's a
actually like
catch.
brings it to his body, you can't see where the ball's at.
I like the Jake Jacobs comment.
Yeah.
Andrews is smart too because he got up because he's like, I technically didn't have possession until. These camera angles are insanely bad. But I mean, it is what it is, right? I think it got overturned.
Wow.
That's big. In a game like this, like that play is big.
Yeah. If I was a Baltimore backer, I would be pretty upset with that call.
Really? Well, you don't. I don't think that's fair for you to say because I don't think we saw the angles that the refs did. If the refs made that
Yeah, if
judgment on the
there's
angles we saw, then sure, you could make that inference, I think.
yeah, I think they see the same ones that we do.
If they did, then I don't know how you do that. Even though we think it happened, you can't. Look how many guys they're bringing, and another sack. Has there been this many? How many sacks they get in the playoff game? Bills Ravens, because I don't remember them even that game, which was like a nightmare for Lamar Jackson. I don't know if it was more definitive than this one. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna look right now. I got it up here.
He took 5 in week 7 against Cincy in their loss.
He only took 2 in that Buffalo game. Oh, he took 4. Sorry, there were 5 fumbles in that game. How many's going on this one? You got it there?
1, 2, 3, at least 4. I'm not sure if the last one has already been. Yeah, it looks like, unless Holland has 2 sacks.
This is some performance by the Dolphins defense. Wow, it's just so hard to do. Why I have a question though.
Oh my goodness, what a play.
Oh. That was great. That was great. I have a question though. Why hasn't Baltimore lined up 4 wide? Look how risky this play was. That was awesome. Dude, oh wait, what are you supposed to do there?
He did what he
still caught up to the running back. Dude, that guy I think might be a scary force in this league. You know what's funny too? Flag. Like, thankfully for the Ravens, they can keep Owe for that 5th year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, rather than lose them like everybody else. Holding. You can't take this is too rigid of a game to take a holding penalty. That was a clear hold, though. There's nothing wrong with that call at all. Look at the size of that man. 71 on the
Justin Ellis.
Why don't they get cheap? Like, instead of holding, why don't you step on the guy's foot? You know what I mean? And try and get your cleat stud in his laces. Then it's just it's incidental.
It's so incredibly hard to do that.
I've done it in soccer many a time, but that guy's always on your back.
It's way different in soccer. Way different.
We got a bomb here. And do we have a catch? It sure looks like it. That Waddle earning his pay.
This is another one though where he caught it with his body and just kind
of went for the ride.
I think that just might be like for smaller receivers the way you have to go.
Because you're not going to have the grip, right, or hand strength. And who knows how big his hands are. That was the only thing, I remember bringing this up a lot when I met, what's his name? I can't even remember now.
What's going on, Fear? He said, Lamar Jackson reminds me of the years Wilson didn't have any weapons and has to turn water into wine.
Yeah.
It feels like that. But you figure you'd see Russell, or not Russell, like Lamar would be running the ball more, but Miami's just done such a good job this game.
Yeah, it's Gale Sayers, and he was old, and I remember him grabbing my hand. I'm like, I'm 6'6", and you're 5'9", it looks like, and your hand is like twice the size of mine. I feel like a lot of those receivers have those spider fingers, but I mean, your technique would have to vary, right? Like, I wonder, how in proportionate someone like Jerry Rice's hands are, right?
Well, let's see. Jerry Rice, hand size, 9.5 inches, which is pretty average for his height.
Is that what does it say it's average?
Yeah.
I feel like they have extra big hands. I just do. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, like this picture here makes it look like his hands are huge, so.
Yeah, but is it enlarged? That's a very common thing to do.
Let's see.
There's a question.
This isn't exactly a great. It says Odell Beckham has larger hands than Mike Evans.
Interesting. Very interesting. Dude, Wilson, holy smokes, he turned that to turn that corner at that speed.
Tua is the answer.
Dude, look at him beat 50.
Yeah, Justin Houston.
It's not like that was full effort from Houston. I don't think he'll make a difference, Beard.
He could, I honestly think he could have a bigger negative impact than positive impact.
Yeah,
which is,
yeah. But they can get rid of him too.
Yeah.
There's no consequence for releasing him. That's interesting. This is really important. You get a touchdown here, you have a really good shot at winning this game.
I'm not 100% sure I said hands, but. Well, I saw another thing. Like I hate speculation type stuff, but apparently they said that if Beckham um, got picked up by like a non-competitive team on waivers, that there was going to be in quotations issues, which is like, I don't know if it's just like fueling the fire for guys like us that, you know, aren't the biggest fans, but I saw way too much Beckham news over the last 48 hours for a guy who could barely get on the field for the Browns. That flag's got to be on Waddle.
I think it's on Waddle. Yeah. What? What?
Humphrey gave him a bit of a hug, but they kind of both did it.
I don't. What's it? Can we not mess up the play calling here? Dude, they've ran before. Landon Roberts has some carries. There you go, Christian Wilkins. I love this. Good job. It didn't work. Do it again. Take all the time down and do it again.
Christian Wilkins had so much fun on that play.
I was going to suggest let Landon Roberts get like a 1-inch carry if it gets down to that. Because I think he has some for the Patriots. Then I hate the inside handoff.
Oh, what a play.
That was awesome.
What a terrific play there. Jaceki probably would have dropped it anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, Landon Roberts played fullback partially for the Patriots. That was a false start. Well, you get to the goal line and you just botch it. Botchamania.
Excellent show.
This might be a PI in the end zone.
It's free safety Brandon Stevens, a 3rd-round pick from this year. Fouls by both teams, so replay the down.
Averett had a couple good plays, but that's his that jogging back on that was it a Waddle reception?
It was the Isaiah Ford reception just
Ford,
before
yeah.
the end of the first half.
Why is it
Bring
so loud? It's on
all the
offense.
pressure. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This just got crazier and crazier. Oh, and a late flag. What is going on right now?
What was
This guy
play? Is this guy even
was
legible?
I don't know, but he was an absolute beast in the open field. If
Dude.
that's a touchdown.
That is a fat guy touchdown.
Oh, the ball's coming loose as he's reaching over. It'd be interesting to see like when that ball actually comes out. Was he eligible? Like this was just wild.
Aikman says no.
He was the right guard.
Oh my god. And he did a false start there.
Oh my goodness.
What is this?
Check out the athleticism though like that is incredibly athletic. But that's illegal touching.
It's illegal touching.
Man, put that guy in at running back. That guy had better moves than Gaskin.
Are they accepting it? I guess they have to. No. What he did is actually positive. Because, okay, if you can accept or decline that penalty, which I'm not sure you can. Okay, he catches this. If he doesn't score, then they don't get a replay on third down.
I guess, but he also almost fumbled the ball and lost it to the other team. Like
that was one of the most awesome things I've seen.
That was a second round pick from last year, Robert Hunt.
That was awesome.
The athleticism was incredible. That's play of the week,
awesome.
And it wasn't even a play.
But they're getting a chance to do it again, though. Like, they committed a penalty and they get another chance. Because what's the difference in terms of field goal percentage, right?
He completely overthrew that. They've tried a few of these.
They're garbage.
Like long fades, like not exactly on the goal line, like the 10-yard fades. Zav said, "Just give him the touchdown for that effort." Just wild stuff. Well, just like that, 369.
Is that Rey Mysterio Jr.'s move?
I don't think it's the 369, but that's from a Little John song.
Oh yeah.
I like what Jake said. Imagine the corner seeing 68 barreling down, and you have to tackle it to save the touchdown.
Yes.
And most of these corners won't tackle Derrick Henry, and he's 250. Like, what's the size here of Robert Hunt? Robert Hunt, 6'5", 323 pounds.
You had to tackle him low, like at the Rey Mysterio's finishing move is the 619.
Oh, thanks for clearing that up.
His real name, to dox him, Oscar Gutierrez.
So they projected that this guy was going to be a 5th, 6th round pick according to this our lad scouting thing, and then Miami took him in the 2nd round, pick 39.
Well, surprised everyone.
Man, that was such a wild play. He caught that and just ran in so confidently too.
It was interesting.
I can't even remember who made that actual tackle, Jake.
It was it starts with an M. Murthy? Look it up.
Pernell McPhee or
No.
Justin Madubuki?
Anything else? That'd be the closest one.
There's no secondary guys with like another good point by Jake. That would have effed up some first touchdown scorer bets.
Yeah, would it ever? There's a flag on.
It's gonna be PI. There's not a lot there, but
wouldn't that be a hold? And isn't that not a catchable ball?
well, the refs have got to bring Ravens back into this game some way.
That seems really hokey. Mind you, that one in the end zone was really hokey too against Humphrey. They were both holding each other, and it felt like Waddle was the initiator. But 10 passing yards this half. They're blitzing a lot of corners, eh?
Miami had like the perfect defense for that play, and Baltimore still almost gained like 13, 14 yards.
I can't believe Andrews didn't run a slant though, because he would have had body position and there was nobody there.
Well, it's not so much I can't believe, like how much flexibility does he have to.
Why doesn't he just do it? Like, I don't know. I guess you get in trouble.
Well, it's like you have to think as far as
There's a
passing
big
goes
hold
on this
there.
offense, it's probably not as intricate as like, Kansas City. Like, because Kelsey would have done that, right? Like Kelsey has the freedom to do that kind
He
of
might
stuff.
have busted one of the house. But it's Mark Andrews. You're not talking about like a tier
But
2 tight end.
It's like the entire thing, right? Like it's Lamar
okay.
Jackson as well. Like that might not be a strength of Lamar Jackson, right? Like to read the defense and make those kind of decisions, but like,
I mean, how hard can it be? There's an open space. Get the guy to run to it.
yeah.
This is some game by Miami's defense, so this can't be understated. Oh, fumble! Fumble! Yes! And guess who? He's going to get in? Touchdown Miami on defense.
That was good by Xavier Howard, but it was no Robert Hunt, that's for sure.
Oh, please. And that was Sammy Watkins, as I love it.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to call this a catch. Oh, yeah. That's a catch. That's a fumble. This is one of the best scenarios where the refs didn't actually just blow it dead.
Yes, it's one of the
that.
rare sightings.
And I'm sure Xavier Howard first touchdown was probably not selected by many, but I'm sure there also was defense special teams, Miami, which hit. Mickey said
We
it's
have
a
dedication to Miami winning MVP. Song is out on iTunes, everyone.
The
The survivor implications has made me more raucous for the Miami victory.
It's looking pretty likely now. I'm curious what the live line's going to be because it's a 12-point game.
2 here?
I'd hope so.
This is some return, eh?
It was great. I'm curious what the live money line is. It's only minus 376 for Miami.
It's probably good value on that, to be honest.
I guess a little bit of that hinges on this next this next play.
I think he could have ran that, to be honest. Get a better chance. That was great. That was a great touchdown.
Live OU's 28. Live line is Miami minus 6.5 at plus 138. Minus 365 on the money line. Yeah, what's the what does this mean for the standings? Dolphins will be 3-7.
Yeah, it's gonna logjam 6-3 for the. Man, the Steelers were 5-3. They're doing it quietly, eh? And the Bengals went from first to last in 2 weeks. A lot of that division is seriously good though. AFC North. It's not the best division in football, but it's really close.
There's really only 3 bad teams in the AFC, and that's the Texans, the Jags, and the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dolphins aren't. They haven't played well. Like this is impressive though.
Look at the point differential for the Dolphins. It's almost negative 100 through 9 games.
That's pretty bad. You're gonna have to put them in the bad category. I won't, Mickey. I was trying to get Big Rye to resurrect the memory because we streamed that Monday.
Man, what do you think the Panthers Super Bowl odds are now that they brought back ex MVP Cam Newton?
400 to 1. No, Panthers win the Super Bowl. I think it should be about not that much. 300, about 280 to 1.
Yeah.
Like true odds, what they are, I don't know. Probably 150 to 1 right now. Because they can still make the playoffs here. Like, it's not unreasonable. Who's the worst team out of all those?
In
the
the
Lions,
NFC?
obviously. And then who? Is it really the football team? I find that hard to believe.
I'd probably say the Bears.
Yeah.
Or the Giants.
Yeah. I think you do too, Mickey. You do have to let them loose. This defense, though, they have like a swarming. They're like giving up the man coverage, which is kind of a strength if you look at the Dolphins roster. Look at their roster on in the secondary. It's just all first round picks. Like
Justin Coleman, Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Javon Holland.
So first and second round picks.
Eric Rowe. Noah
Igboanemi, I can't even say his name. Like, it's just a lot of drafted and like signed talent too.
Trill Will.
Trill, it's a cool name.
Bears are only bad because of Nagy. Yeah, Fields just is like Fields is doing the best he can. He's just not, at least with Nagy, he's just not ready.
The cover looks kind of safe.
The cover looks great.
I think it'll be Bieniemy too, Mickey. I don't think that's a good idea. It's not because I don't like, unless Eric Bieniemy is more embracing of clock management decisions than Andy Reid. I just am defaulting to him. Do you know what I mean? Not having that type of like adoption. Call it new age adoption. Like, in terms of football knowledge, yeah, the guy's best candidate probably. Or he's the next up in terms of seniority, but does that make you the right fit? I don't know. I'd be looking for the next Brandon Staley, the next Kevin Stefanski, those type of guys. Or, you know who might be the one to poach off of is Frank Reich's staff, even though I know the Nick Sirianni thing is it's not bad. It's just it's not looking as promising.
It's to be determined.
As yeah. And who knows? He could very well be that way because it's not like, do you know what I mean? Like Stefanski was the OC for teams that obviously he was at huge odds with how they were running the offense in terms of time. Right. And then he takes over and he totally changes
it. We're getting to that point in the game where it's like, can Miami's defense continue this stellar play?
This is the only time they didn't actually get him. I think you keep running plays like that, you're going to get a fumble too. Oh, that looks like grounding almost. There's no one there. He's in the pocket.
There's a guy there. He just stopped his route.
Oh, I didn't see.
Oh, man. That was fumbled as well, but Miami not able to get control of the ball before it jumps out of bounds.
That French tickler on Josh Oliver, just a little pencil mustache. Looks like Gomez Adams.
The only thing I can think they're talking about is where to spot this ball. Like,
What else could it be? I'm calling it incomplete.
looks like a fake blitz off the bottom. Yeah. See, motion just blew that up, but oh my goodness.
4th and 10.
I'm interested. I know it's 4th and 10, but I'm curious to see what the 4th down bot says on this play. Like, you're down 2 touchdowns in this game.
Dude, this defense, what a performance. I feel like they lined up offside on that, too. Well, we're up to 100,000, so those can be 5s. Although I see the briefcase now, it has Benjamins on the top. It's got to be all 5s underneath.
Well, what's underrated is that the briefcase itself looked like it was made out of gold.
Yes.
Now, I'm not a commodities expert.
I've worked diligently to purchase as much of precious metals as possible, but that by no means makes me an expert. There you go. That's like, this is like it's like a switch hitter. You know what I mean? Like having a left-handed quarterback. Like it kind of might have messed with the defense a little bit.
So on that 4th and 10, there's a strong recommendation to go for it, and it changes your win probability by 2%.
Surprising from the Ravens, but
there's also that could happen, and how lucky are the Dolphins?
Oh my! What a play!
Man, sometimes when you see that like blindside hit, it just feels like the defender could just take the ball out of the quarterback's hands and keep running.
Yeah.
That was.
Dude, is that the play of the game?
Well, outside of the Hunt attempted touchdown,
I don't even know the Hunt thing anymore. Like that was crazy because that was real. If you're Patrick Queen, I get the scoop. It makes sense to me. If you're a big lineman, I don't get it.
Fear, it's one of those ones where, like, if he falls on that ball and no one touches him for 2 seconds, everyone's like, oh, I should have just picked it up and scored. But then If he misses it like that and they don't get the ball, it's like, oh, what an idiot. He should have fell on it. It's tough, like, in the heat of the moment to know, like, what's the best thing to do. You just don't. This is short. I don't
I
know
think
why
you go for
Ford
this.
is very excited to be short a
What
yard.
are you doing, man? Like Mr. 4-6?
That's 461. Like it matters. I think that we get a hard count from the Dolphins, and they're gonna punt this. That's my guess.
I hope they just go for it. Oh,
There's way too much funny business action for them to actually go for it.
no, they're not going for it. That was so lame. Holy.
I didn't see if the clock was moving, but if it did, they took time off the clock.
Yeah, it was.
And there's a chance you get them to jump, but like it's just actually going for it and faking going for it is like you're not fooling anybody. Good job by Mac Hollins.
Good job. And it's like a lot of people mess that up, like for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
It was also the Dolphins lost out on 2% win probability by not going for it and
Yeah,
punting on that
sounds
last
about
one.
right. I mean, if you if you were able to know you'd get a punt like that, I'm sure it would offset, but that's like so wishful.
Punter's too hyped. Finn's best offense has been Ravens' offense. Yeah. Baltimore has had so many chances. The Dolphins are really killing it. Punter is too hyped. Tough spot for Ravens. Just played a 70-minute overtime game on Sunday versus the Vikings. Now have to travel on a short week to Miami. Mickey Hill, a 1-foot penalty.
Yeah, and it was. That's close. It was a roughing the passer. Oh man. It's annoying.
That's the stuff that they want to, like, try to get out of the game. It's super annoying. Like, as a defensive player, you make a good play. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do if the quarterback, if you're hitting him and he jumps into you,
Like maybe you put your hands down like you were doing a push-up. Like that's so unnatural though.
I guess the whole thing is you gotta have enough control of your body not to like
That's
fall on
so
him. Like you pretty
dude
much just
playing
gotta hit
defense
him.
is ridiculous.
It's super hard.
Dude, the Dolphins have way more penalties too, and they're still getting it done. This is a great performance on defense. They're winning. Their points for on defense is 6. Dude, look, nice play by Duvernay to push the pile there.
Oh, he did get down. It looked like the ball got knocked loose before that, but
No. Who's Tomlinson? 85?
is it tight
Eric
end, right?
Tomlinson. He's the 4th tight end. UTEP. Wow. Very active player history.
I was gonna say I remember him being on the Giants, which is he was so. Well, there was another roughing. I missed that last play. Oh, that one is terrible.
Are we joking? Like, what are we trying to close out games for interest? That is really pathetic, NFL. That's some garbage. That is some hot garbage.
See, I was thinking if Baker did exactly what Holland just did on his roughing play, that it wouldn't have gotten called, but then we just saw it happen again. Very interesting defense here by the Dolphins. Like, they're essentially going man, but giving 10 yards of space off the line of scrimmage and then putting everyone else right on the line of scrimmage. Like, it's working for them.
It's working great, right? Like, this is, I wonder if, like, do you think you could have this type of success against Kyler Murray with this type of defense? The receivers are a lot tougher to deal with on that team, but
Well, I think just in general, they like to me what you need to do is get the ball out of your hands really quickly to the skill position players and just let them make plays because eventually there's going to be some missed tackles by the Dolphins, but the ball's not getting out fast enough. Like this is where like a guy like Marquise Brown should be making those quick. Like it should
quick
be these
moves.
quick catches. But it's also on Lamar to get the ball out to those guys quickly too.
Who's up at the top, that receiver? Defensive hold?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I don't know. He got punched in the face on that. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree. That it looked like he hit him in the face and then he reached out and grabbed. I don't agree with that. I think that's a jagging against the Dolphins. Oh my goodness.
I think it's crazy that Holland's just coming free off the edge every single time.
I can't believe Jones got up and caught back up to him. It's like they gave him this touchdown. It doesn't feel genuine. That was so close, man. Game of inches, eh? From that pass being deflected by Byron Jones.
Hey, man, I told you stop using that word with me. It's a real trigger.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
Oh, inches? You know how mad I can get. Mark Andrews touchdown. So it's a 6-point game right now. Why did Eric Rowe just stop on the play?
He heard a whistle for sure. Something weird is going on with the end of these games. I never say something like that, but that was weird. This is weird. It's just something weird. I don't know. And then, like, Eric Rowe just stops. Like, a guy who's been playing in the league since he was drafted in Philadelphia like 7 years ago just stops. Something weird. That was weird, that drive. This is giving me vibes like Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, and Philadelphia, Seattle. That's weird. I was on the good side of both of those, so I'm not complaining, but
Nine play, 99-yard drive.
from the half-yard line. There's three massive penalties. 3 penalties on that drive. Well, I had Eagles +7. I did. But the game can end a trillion different ways. That's just one iteration. This drive felt weird, though. It really did. Like that.
To me, this is the worst one. The Holland one.
This one is nothing. It's nothing. Oh, he did some nice criticism by Troy Aikman about these hits. Look at these jerseys; they're just messed up. I love it.
Think about all the hits Troy Aikman took, and now he has to watch these guys like.
Yeah. I referenced it, Zaps, when I brought up Philly Bucks. I said Philly Seattle. I had both of those. I had Philly on both of those, so I'm not complaining. Albert Wilson make another bonkers after the catch play, I guess. Oh my God, he might get a touchdown here. That was so weird he didn't cut in. Like, why didn't he cut in there?
Clark took a really, really good angle, but he had to give up a lot of yards to do it.
Yeah, he's slower than Albert Wilson, though. I don't get how you're allowed to run like that. I guess you're behind the line of scrimmage. I don't. Oh, what a play. What a play by 73. Are they going Are they gonna call him for that? I hope not, because that was awesome.
Amazing coverage on that play. Yeah, no kidding.
They had 12 guys. Can you decline this and keep the play? Because that Austin Jackson or whatever, the first round lineman, he made a great play to push that an extra 2 yards. That Ravens drive feels weird. It still does, but what are you gonna do? It's good to be suspicious once in a while. Oh, they don't give it to him, so they have to repeat the down. It's actually better off probably that they got that.
Well, if they run the ball in this next play and the Ravens don't take a timeout, they can get this down to the 2-minute warning.
I don't think the Ravens will do that. Miami, you just got to get it in here.
Yeah.
Oh, they can still get a first down. It was a 5-yard. It wasn't half the distance. Yes, they can. They can win the game.
Not quite with the timeouts.
Pretty close.
Actually, they definitely could.
Yeah, they could.
So Baltimore did use their first timeout, it looked like.
You have to run here.
That middling OU has a chance of hitting. Right now the score's 25.
Did you take it?
No. I think the OU got down to like 23. But there's no need. The under is very safe.
Sound like Perry. No need.
Yeah.
No need.
The stream is over. We're done.
What's the over-under on done? Oh, did you see the one last night?
No, what happened?
The Italian Matrix?
No, what's that about?
I watched it with my girlfriend. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Somebody, you know how they post like a video, like a link to a video?
Mm-hmm.
He posted a link of him watching it, and then a link of him watching himself watching it. So it was like an OBS, like.
Oh yeah.
And Perry freaked out. His brain melted. It was so good.
That's pretty funny.
Of course, Robert Hunt. 0-0. So he kept hearing echoes of his own voice, and it was really, really funny.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be checking it out. Mo and Drip's going to make a compilation of the 92 telling.
How many? Which ones?
I don't know, but
There's like 1,000. Oh my goodness. That was a great run by Gaskin. 3rd and 1. Can you get this? Can you get it done? Can you get it here? I think you should put a big defensive player at fullback since you don't have one.
well, they used Christian Phillips there earlier.
No. It's Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins.
Christian Wilkins is who they used, yeah.
That's a long yard, though. Oh, it's 2. Okay, yeah. Did he get in?
He didn't,
Oh
which
my God,
is
that's even
actually
better. That's actually
worse
better.
for Baltimore.
That's actually better. What how much time can you take it down to?
Well, I think technically Baltimore shouldn't use their timeout until after the 2-minute warning just to maximize it. But they've already used it. I take that all back. I think you used it before. Because they're going to run the ball. It's going to get them to the 2-minute warning. And then you go 40 seconds, 40 seconds. So that takes, what, a minute 20 off the clock? So they'll be...
You know what you should do? This sounds crazy. But, like, do a fake sneak where you don't actually try and get anything. You don't lose anything. And then try and go for it on 3rd down. And then if you don't get it, kick a field goal. Because you're going to leave no time. Like, it's going to be very hard. That's probably the best way of going.
Zap said touchdown, so...
I don't think you want a touchdown. Like, it's good. Like, obviously. I'm trying to think what the best play is.
The
There
best
you
play
go.
is to take it down to the 3rd down, take the time off, and score a touchdown.
Yeah, or kick a field goal with, yeah, like if you miss. But I mean, you don't want to lose it kneeling, so
You just you quarterback sneak all 4 downs. That's what you do.
yeah, but you don't
And
try
if-
and get in, is what I'm saying.
Well, if you get in, you
First
get in. If you don't, you don't. Like, it's either way, it's good for your win chances.
Okay. I'm trying to think what the best possible like game theory optimal play is for that.
The best
It's like
thing would be to
it's
score a touchdown on 4th down with no
on-
time left.
Yeah, technically speaking. I think
And-
the highest rate of success is what I said. Because you take the 2 off, and then on the 3rd down. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying zaps. Do like that. Do like a fake one where like you're not really trying to get in when you sneak.
If you score if you score on 4th down, like it's like Beard said, you have about 30 seconds left on the clock and you're up 12. And Ravens have no timeouts. Ravens can still score in 2 minutes 19, recover an onside kick and still score again.
Yeah, Raven, like they're it's very unlikely, but like it's still possible. Yeah, he took a live bet, Zaps.
I think it was second half.
Second
plus
half.
6. Miami has looked better offensively with Tua. See, this is like Bateman standing around there just waiting. Like, shouldn't you have like 2 or 3 plays? They're not going to get it off. Like,
Yeah.
it took them way too long. But
Yeah, shouldn't you have a script going? I don't know how big of a gap it is, Zaps. I mean, 2 is better, but I think it's marginal at this point.
What's the line on the Green Bay game? 3.5.
It opened at 5, but like who knows? And Rodgers hasn't even been cleared. Earliest he can get cleared is Saturday.
Yeah, that's a risky one to bet early.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in the know though, like, I guess I think one of our friends did Seattle. Actually, he did do Seattle opening line.
At 5.
Yeah, well, he thought that Wilson would for sure be back, which is enough to take them at
Yeah.
+5, and with a small chance that Rodgers
Doesn't play. Yeah.
That was his theory on it, and I thought that it wasn't bad. I had the same thing with Tyrod Taylor last week, and I was right. Yeah, 5.5 to 4 is like, what's the win probability on that? Like 2%. Nice work, Mickey. Nice win. I think that's fair, though. I do think that's fair. And he gets out of bounds.
Well, they marked him inbounds. The clock is still running.
Wow, he must have got his knee in. I think there's pros and cons to Tua too.
It's again, it's talking about like in the small sample size of this game, Tua had more success than Jacoby.
So. But that doesn't give him a like he's blanket across the board better than Brissett. I think Brissett's probably a more accurate passer, to be honest.
I don't think so. I think Brissett didn't show well. I don't think like Tua's been gangbusters. I think he's just been better than Brissett.
Yeah. Also, like, play calling too has been a little bit different. They took more risks with Tua, to be honest. I hate this where like you just give this touchdown up.
Well, it just feels so slow from the Ravens too, but they've actually gotten pretty far down the field.
Yeah.
But this is the type of offense they needed to be running with the type of defense that Miami's been playing, so.
Yeah, but Miami's playing a lot softer right now. Like it's the classic thing.
Oh my goodness.
He goes out of bounds. What a play, Mark Andrews.
The most key thing for defenders to do is tackle guys in bounds, and you just see so many times guys not getting it done.
The fact that this game can still go over, that's true.
Yeah, the Zaps, no kidding. I know, Fear, it's terrible. I can't, I've got stuff here. I've got tea. It's just nothing makes it stop. My wife's got it too. It's just nonstop with us. We can't even get any sleep.
What he really has is graft versus host disease. Is he got a hair transplant? That's why his hair is so long, and his body's rejecting it. That's a huge hold. Are we serious?
Jerome Baker almost caught that too for the interception. Holland's just like a big kid out there, man.
He's in like you got to be pumped. You're not playing like the Detroit Lions. You're playing on prime time against the Ravens, and you're not just out there having a day. You're playing awesome. Like, it's not a standard game. This is an impressive game.
Game
Oh
plus is,
yeah.
I
Oh
think that
yeah.
was, is that Justin Colton?
Bye bye. Bang bang. Survivor.
That's awesome for Survivor.
No, we're down to it. I think there was 30 or 35. This is gonna trim it down to like, I think 13 or 10, and everyone has a strike except for me. So,
And
we
that
shall
just
see.
that just proves all the Dolphins haters wrong.
Yes, it did. It showed dedication.
It's over. Dolphins haters can't sleep tonight.
I thought he actually wrote that. I was gonna start laughing. I'm gonna listen to "Dedication" by Top Notch MVP out on iTunes.
In Tua we trust. Survivor and teasers with Baltimore got buried. I don't know why I said it like that when it's clearly buried. Yeah, the defense has been good like the last since Flores took over, really. Considering they didn't have a lot of talent to start out.
Been tough, but like I said, look at that secondary. Look at like how many first and second round picks there are.
Dolphins moved to 3-7. I want to pull up like I feel like the Baltimore Ravens have just been polarizing this year. Cuz they're 6-3. They lost to the Raiders, the Bengals, and the Dolphins. They beat the Vikings in overtime. They handily beat the Chargers. They beat the Colts in overtime. They barely beat the Lions by 2 points.
Wow,
And
the Lions one was the greatest kick of all time.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And then they beat the Chiefs by 1. Quite the interesting start to their season. And they get the Bears next week. Let's play a game with people in chat. I'm sure there's already some look ahead line out, but what do you think that game opens at on Sunday? Ravens at the Bears. Fat Guy, do you have a thought?
Where is it? Oh, I thought you were asking the
Oh,
chat.
sorry, I was asking you as well. Ravens at the Bears opening line Sunday. What do you think the opening line is going to be? I've got the number in my head. What I think.
Ravens -2.5. Bad juice on the Ravens.
See, I was with Zaps. I was at Ravens -4.5.
I think that's too much.
At 2.5, do you like the Ravens or Bears?
Depend if it's low juice. I like the Ravens. High juice, closer to the Ravens. Maybe 3 then.
So Ravens at 3, like Jake Jacobs said, you're probably having a tough time picking a side.
Yeah. If I got plus money, I'd take the Bears +3 probably. 3.5. I'm definitely taking the Bears.
Well, you heard it here first. whatever that means. That's it for the Fat Guy Night. Thanks for joining us on the live stream, guys. Appreciate you guys sticking with us till the end. This was an interesting game, and it was a pretty
really
good game. Ravens were big favorites. Miami ends up winning the game by 12. Like, that was pretty good. I remember someone came into chat earlier and predicted a 37-17 win for the Baltimore Ravens, just a bit off. But that's why we do this.
A little bit off. That's exactly what we do. It's why they play the game, right?
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. And Fat Guy and I will catch you guys. Next time you'll see us is the picks video on Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Mickey also said Ravens -4.5. So 3 of us on Ravens -4.5. Jake Jacobs Ravens -3. Fat Guy oscillating between Ravens at 3 and 2.5. So that's it for us, guys. Thanks for joining, and we will catch you guys later.